Hello, I'm Nathavat Pangrat. Today I'm going to talk about I learned from reading. The thing that is the most obvious is that from reading I just happen to know that I can be such a calm person. Not that I'm a macho hot-headed person at all time, but it's that when I'm reading I actually focus on something and it makes me feel patient. When my brain actually working to image those pictures from the books, it's just new experience I never felt before. Feel like I'm actually thinking to get entertain the knowledge, the vibe of that book, not just scrolling through my phone when I'm nothing but a blank headed. At the end, for me, it's just a great experience. I have great time reading and be amazed by how much just one book could give me. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, it's Chaimyo Ratana Negumon. So today I'm going to talk about what I learned from reading. I'm not much of a reading person myself, but yeah, but lately I have to read a book, yeah, for my school project, and the book is named The Life of Shinju Xua. She's a Chinese person who become rich and richer in the one of the bad time of economic, but yeah, that was just yapping. So the thing I have learned is book wasn't that boring as itself. I used to thought when I was younger book was fucking boring because I had to read and it got no entertainment. I couldn't get how to get an entertainment from a word itself because in my childhood I read a lot of manga, comic and stuff like that. They got picture, they got illustrated, but for the book it just for me it just feel weird to reading a word and just feel entertained by it. But now I know it's just a lot better to not that bad of reading a book. Still it's not gonna be my main way of entertainment, but yeah, I just learned that it wasn't that boring and it's just a new thing to know. So yeah, I think that's all. Another thing is that from reading the book I feel like I get to know like a people point of view, which rarely being seen because if it come from in the form of video, form of media, of social thing like that, it come with illustrated, not the real word. There is a very thin line on that understanding, but yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Hello teacher, today I want to talk about something that might sound a bit cliche, but hear me out. What I have learned from actually reading. Now I know some people might roll their eyes at this, but honestly reading changes something in you. When when a person starts to read a seriously, it's like they're taking a real step toward maturity. I finally understand why. When you read a book, your, your frontal lobe, the part of your brain responsible for thinking and decision making, actually start working, unlike scrolling through a screen or watching a video. Reading forces your brain to actively engage. You're not just observing, you're thinking, and when your brain is really working, you start to feel calmer, more patient, and more focused. That's actually how I felt when I was deep into a good book. Another thing I realized is how informative book can be. When you read, you're likely to learn something valuable, way more that you get from most of the content on social media these days. Let's be real. You don't often find someone who completely clueless writing a whole book, so there's a good chance you you will walk away smart after finishing one. But of course, not every book is worth your time. There, there are a few people out there who think they expert but end up writing nonsense. That's why it's important to choose your books wisely. Use your brain even before you start reading. That's all for now. Thank you so much for listening.